This is Leaf Life. All things cannabis for all people. Now, Ricker and the Bearded Lorax.
We publish a free magazine called The Leaf that is available in print in 14 states at your local cannabis retailer. And you can also get it online at leafmagazines.com. I'm Mike Ricker, your host of Leaf Life, with my co-host Wes Abney, also known as the Bearded Lorax.
I speak for the trees.
And of course, there's AJOG.
Hola, aloha, OG.
And Mary J. White.
Baked with love.
Welcome to the second half of this Leaf Life show called Basketball and Cannabis. In just a moment, we'll talk about the NBA now and its policy on cannabis. And we'll spin AJ's wheel to see what products SHAWN Kemp, who enjoyed a 14-year career in the National Basketball Association and is a 6-time All-Star and an Olympic gold medalist as well, and a current owner of Kemp's Cannabis Retail in Seattle. This show's Greg the Guinea Pig is going to be trying next. But first, it's time for Where in the World?
Y ahora es hora de las noticias de cannabis.
It's time for cannabis news from around the world.
Mary J. White. What's going on in the universe?
Well, I will tell you, I don't know about the universe.
Well, this is part of it, so it's okay.
Okay. Well, in this particular country, they have just been doing a cannabis experiment. Now, in this particular country, their cannabis stores, for years, for a long time, have operated in a system where sales were tolerated, but cultivation was illegal. So those coffee shops were basically sort of legal. Okay, so this country has this experiment going. They're trying to figure out some of the pros and cons. One of the biggest issues was they had a rule restricting the coffee shops to only have more than 500 grams of cannabis at one time. Well, hello, they ran out every damn day. So the officials in this country have summed it up. Too little weed, problems with the tracking and trace system, and a pretty much unworkable maximum of 500 grams stock is not going to make it in the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands?
Yeah.
Amsterdam?
Yeah, Amsterdam.
It's a wonky country in their cannabis laws. It's illegal.
Yeah, it's illegal.
It's just tolerated.
Yeah.
It's weird.
See, I never knew it was legal.
Yeah.
I thought it was illegal.
It is illegal.
It's illegal.
It's illegal, but
yes.
But you can go buy it and consume it.
Yes. But if you get caught transporting it, you'll go get thrown in jail.
I believe that.
Yeah, so
but it's like Dutch jail.
Yeah.
So they give you massages and
good food.
Private rooms.
Oh,
not the same jail I'm thinking about.
If you're gonna go to jail, do it in the Netherlands.
There.
Wes is talking about the red light jail.
Yeah, he is.
Not a bad place.
That's a dungeon.
Not a bad place to spend $60.
60?
That's not what we
pay. Oh, God.
Like before the pandemic, I was there. It was $60.
Damn. When
allegedly.
We went, it was,
like 100 guilder. I think it's the same. Might have fluctuated by now, but I asked somebody and they told me.
Okay. Well, then I was told the wrong information when we went.
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
I know everything, Mary.
Well, threesomes are more expensive, just so you know.
They have the right to charge what they want to for the customer.
Absolutely.
The barter system or negotiations are always welcome. And they speak English, so you're good. All right. Thank you, Mary J. White.
Sure.
I'm getting it way too deep now.
Way too deep.
AJ, spin that wheel. See what Sean's going to be hitting next.
All right, y'all. Let's
Yay.
see, y'all. Okay, we're hitting this Bomb Sativa Hybrid coming out of Cali again.
Yep.
I'm sorry about that. This is the Snow White.
Snow White.
My apologies. I want to show you the flower, though. Let's pop this.
Sean's rubbing his hands
He's all
together.
excited.
Yes.
Yes.
She
It
said
smells
Snow White.
amazing.
I thought it was some Snow White, but that's not good green.
Try to smell that. The nose on that. It's pretty good, right?
Ooh.
His eyes are already red from smelling it.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
And the
frosty.
bomb's loaded for you already, so let's get it lit.
Look, you can't even drop it out. It's so sticky.
It's so big. The nugs are big and sticky, bro. Look.
Wow.
That's a new company in California, by the way.
I was trying to drop it in this restash
Sticky
for you.
Status.
I'll show y'all how to
Yes, Sticky Status.
like this thing.
It's a great
There
name.
you go, Sean. Fire it up,
There you
man.
go.
Yeah. That's a big NBA All-Star hit right there.
Boy.
Ooh.
Your hands are so
Oh,
big.
yeah.
She loves that. You could palm a basketball, no problem.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Can he palm a kickball?
Yes.
Does it have to be flat?
No, it can be round. And that was, that used to be my sport too growing up.
Kickball.
Kickball.
What? King of the kickball.
King. It's a kickball.
You gotta have a big foot. Got a big foot. Got to use it, right?
Wes was at an event last Saturday where they had hold a beer kickball. So in one hand you got your beer, the other hand you got to catch the kickball.
I love that.
Oh, wow.
I need to play that.
That's a
Big
good
time.
idea.
That
You're
sounds
invited.
fun.
Yeah,
Next
let me
year.
know. Next year, let me know. I'll be out there.
All right,
Hold
so
the beer. I
as we
love it.
talk about the NBA now, first I want to talk about the NBA in the past. Who's the best coach that you ever had, and what did he teach you, man? By that I mean
Best coach I ever had was George Karl.
for the Seattle SuperSonics.
Yeah, I mean, Bernie Bickerstaff was my first coach here in Seattle.
I never him.
I think he was great also. I wasn't as a polished player for him. I was just starting out. So I would say in my polished years, it would be George Karl.
He helped develop you, Bickerstaff did.
But the Bickerstaff definitely helped develop me.
Two legendary coaches. If there's one thing that you learn from each of those guys, what is it? Is it leadership? Is it teamwork? Is it discipline? Because each coach has their own regiment for developing players, right? And their own style. And, some coaches are great coaches, but they don't have the right chemistry with the team.
Yeah, but, some coaches demand respect. And
or you're getting traded.
Absolutely. That's just how it works. This is a business. This isn't a family function. This is a business. And I'll break this down to you to make it clearer for you to have understanding. The first conversation that I ever had with George Karl, it was during the season. They fired Casey Jones. Casey Jones gave me like 3 days off because he said I was working hard. He said, you're working hard, you've been playing well. So he gave me about 2 or 3 days off. We had about 4 days off of games. So I went to LA.
The whole year.
I went to LA for a couple
you had a 4 day period where you didn't have to play.
Had to play for 4 days.
Gotcha.
He gave me 3 of those days off.
You went down to LA to have some fun.
I went to LA to have some fun. This is during the season, which is,
unheard of.
Basically. When the Sonics kind of found out about that, they fired KC.
Whoa.
Was that before after he went to Boston?
This is after he went to Boston.
Gotcha.
He's with us now.
Yeah.
And so they fired KC and they hired George while I'm in Los Angeles having some fun.
Yeah.
So George actually calls me.
Yeah.
And I was in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know KC had been fired yet.
Oh.
And so the first phone call went like this. He goes, can I speak to SHAWN Kemp? And I was like, hey, this is Shawn. He goes, this is George Karl, your new coach with the Seattle SuperSonics. And I was like, yeah, and I'm in.
You didn't care who was coaching.
I'm in Los Angeles right now.
Yeah, right. What are you interrupting me for?
What you think? He goes, I just want you to know you're out the fucking starting lineup. Click. Hung the phone up.
Turn the
First thing you ever said to you.
Yeah.
What'd you learn from that?
Well, the first thing I learned from that is that, damn, I should have spoke a little faster because I had some shit to say to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he didn't even give me a chance to say it.
Nope.
But then he called me back. And he goes, everything's going to be all right. And I was like, Coach, I don't give a fuck if I'm starting or if I'm not starting. You got to play me. And I hung the phone up on him.
Gotcha. Right. They're paying a lot of money for your ass.
You paying me money, you got to play me.
But he made a statement. He made a statement.
And then I got the phone call from the general manager saying, get your ass back to Seattle as fast as possible.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Mm-hmm.
So I got on the plane and I got back that night.
I know you ain't at a Lakers game.
So
Yeah.
we played our first game. It was actually here in Seattle. It was on a Sunday night, and George was the coach. So you already know those few days of practice. It was just kind of like oh, here this guy. He's the new coach, so he's trying to. I'm the young kid. I'm only 19 at the time.
Oh man.
So
Baby.
It sounds
I'm only
like
19 at the time. And
it's like they're like a father figure.
And I'm just like, look, man, everything is good. I don't care if I start or not. It's not a big deal to me. It's whatever. I guess he really thought it was going to hurt my feelings. But I will tell you this. The game started Sunday at 7 o'clock. That's where it started at the Seattle Coliseum. It was a 7 o'clock game. They went down court twice. He didn't like what was going on. He come down to the end of the bitch. He goes, "You're back in the starting lineup."
There you go.
Right.
So that's how the coaching works.
But he made his point.
He made his point, but they definitely, when they need you, they're coming to get you.
For sure.
Absolutely.
All acrimony aside.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as we talk about, the NBA was a different game back then. It's way more elevated now. The athleticism is, and now, you were one of the rare 19-year-olds to be in the NBA back in the day.
Yeah.
You didn't play a day of college basketball, did you?
None.
Wow.
None. So lots to learn. Lots to learn. And, I've always said it was like child abuse.
Yeah.
But needed. It was child abuse that was needed.
Yeah.
I needed that.
Was there a player that was a mentor to you, an older player?
All of them. All of these guys, man. I could just go down the list of guys that I played with. As I first come to the team, none of these guys really like me because I'm the young guy that's going to probably take their spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as we start playing as a team and as a unit, we get to know each other. And instead of us battling, then these guys started to invite me over to their place.
It becomes all about winning.
So it's about winning, but it's also about caring about a person too.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to see a person not do well that's good.
Mm.
Is that like when marijuana? Did you guys partake in marijuana together?
We'll get to
when
that.
You got to, I know, I'm like,
That
I'm
was
so
my
curious
question.
about that. Yeah, like,
And partying, like you're 19, you're famous.
No.
Like, how did you resist that urge to?
No, we didn't. No, we when you're 18, man, only thing that they're gonna do around you is eat cereal and eat salad.
Y'all were young,
You see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
no
So
doubt.
they were protecting you?
Absolutely. When the guys, they said this, they said, well, when I got to the team, they basically said, you fucked up everything. And simply because now we can't have liquor in the locker room. We can't have beer in the locker room. We got to watch your little ass everywhere we go. We got to make sure you get tucked in the bed on time and all of this stuff. So
you're saying you introduced the rebel movement? You're saying you opened the door to the rebel movement?
I didn't open the door to it, but I over time, I let these guys know that I was one of them.
Well, now it's different. Because
Absolutely.
now cannabis is allowed in the NBA.
It's totally different.
And so how does
how's
that change the game, in your opinion?
I mean, it changed the game a lot. I would have played another 5 or 6 or 7 years if cannabis was.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. Yeah, absolutely. If it was.
Wow. Yeah.
For your pain management or your recovery.
Not even about smoking weed, but just with the lotions and the cream. That would have made me last at least another 5 or 6 years easily.
That's a huge testimony.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
the power of the plant.
Big statement.
Without a doubt. So that's why I always tell people, when it comes to marijuana, it's bigger than just smoking weed.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to be. Years and years from now, after we've all passed away, and weed will be big because of the medicine side of it.
Yes.
Not necessarily because of the smoking side. There'll probably be few people smoking it, but a lot of people be using it more medical.
And does it allow the
definitely.
players to be better players now because they're not hiding anything from their coach?
Well, not only they're not hiding anything from their coach, I mean, not all players smoke weed, first of all. Not all guys do. Not all the guys are going to smoke weed. But like I said, if the guys could just use the lotions and the creams alone.
Topicals.
Yeah. Straight
That's
up.
gonna help their
Opiates
bodies.
or
Instead
even
of taking
alcohol.
those pills. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the reason why I started smoking weed in the first place playing basketball. You're a young man. I'm playing against these, at this time in the NBA, it's such a brutal sport.
Very physical.
It's so physical at this time. The average size of the guys was probably 6'8", 6'9".
I've been down there. I've sat courtside a bunch, bro. And it's almost like football.
The players now have shrunk throughout the years, but back when I played, they were much taller. So
They've shrunk?
They're definitely, the average size of a player now is probably 6'5", 6'6". Back when I played, the average size was 6'8", 6'9".
Because then it was more physical. Now it's more agile.
More agile. It's more. So now what you see is like a lot of Ferraris on the court.
Right.
Kind of like football has gotten speedier.
Back when I played, you saw You saw some 18-wheelers. You saw some big SUVs.
Hell yeah, say that.
Yeah, big collisions, big bodies.
Yeah, and the best centers aren't
doubt.
necessarily the biggest dudes like Shaq used to be.
No.
It's the dude who plays for Dallas. What's his name? The Doncic?
Well, Doncic, he's a forward, but I think the guy from Denver, I think he's probably the best center in the game.
Yeah. What's his name? These guys are all coming from Europe now, bro.
Everybody's from Europe. Everyone's from Europe. That's why I said the game of basketball is so much more popular in Europe than what it is in the United States. Here in the United States, we have so many other sports and so many other activities that our star athletes are separated at an early age. We're getting their best athletes coming across this water.
Which is good, though.
Which is very good.
And you're also a gold medalist, which is huge. And especially as, we just wrapped up the Paris Olympics, which was so much fun to see, the world on stage. And when I think about basketball and weed, it is leading the culture to a new place. And that you don't see people like talking about baseball shoes or what the baseball players are doing. And I love baseball. I was a college tennis player. Nobody knows tennis players. But people know basketball. And I think that the NBA has taken that huge step. And it is a huge, huge step to allow players to use cannabis for recovery, for health. Obviously, you're not taking a hot dab before a game because you're a professional. But after the game, it's so much safer.
It's ready for you, though. That big dab is ready for you after the game, bro.
And the investment opportunity, too, because that provides credibility for us in the cannabis space who've been denied banking and told we were kind of a less than industry. And we need like good athletes and good celebrities, not the ones who want to come just take from the community, but are part of it. And like when you said that you would have had 5 more years, that gave me chills.
Easily. Like, oh my God, easily 5 more years.
I feel like there's definitely work to be done there. Some advocacy for the players, you know?
You have certain athletes out there playing on bone.
Yeah, right. Cartilage is shot.
More cartilage.
I think this might be.
Cartilage is shot.
You? Is this you? I don't know who this is. You. It's not me. Oh.
Magical phone has appeared.
It's a mysterious phone.
Good thing this isn't live.
Sean, you still ball?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get on Wes's shoulders. I'm gonna dunk on your ass.
Oh, watch out!
All right, hey Sean. Now it's time for you to play I Heart Bearded Loraxes.
They call him the Bearded Lorax.
Oh, hello. So adorable.
A guardian of nature and a poet of the heart.
I love his beard.
With a beard of golden threads and eyes as deep as the ocean.
So cute.
He moves with grace and poise.
What a stud.
This is where devotion and enchantment weave a magical symphony.
Now that's a real man.
This is I Heart Bearded Loraxes.
This is what I tell myself every morning. All these things.
Oh shit, this is a new one. So Sean, you gotta be on your toes on this one, brother, okay?
Right, well, let's do it.
You know who the Bearded Lorax is, right?
Hey, there's the god right there.
That's him, brother. Needs an afro pick on his beard.
That's right.
Not on the head though, bro. All right. Number 1. If the Bearded Lorax threw a wally bump in the forest swamp with the black squirrels, salamanders, and of course Mr. Beaver, would you attend and enjoy a delicious cave-cooled infused peat moss muddled mojito to help celebrate this wally bump in the forest swamp?
Yeah, I'm having a mojito.
That's the correct answer.
Yes, mojito.
Right.
Say less.
Number 1. All right.
Don't ask me twice.
He knows what's up. Here we go.
I jumped on that.
Number 2. At that wally bump in the forest swamp, would you swim with Yertle the turtle if there was a billabong filled with pollywogs while the Bearded Lorax romped through the forest swamp while sanctimoniously bug-snuggled in the pouch of a gleefully pleasingly wallaby?
Oh my God!
No, I'm not doing it.
No, that's the wrong answer. Of course you would. Yeah, you just ain't
need
been
a
there
few
yet.
more of those mojitos.
You ain't tricking me. Oh.
The answer was a definitive yes, so you're 1 out of 2.
Okay.
And number 3. If the bearded Lorax served a beef borscht lollipop buffet at this Wollybomp in the Forest Swamp, would you dance with his marmot friend Lance and throw your hands in the air like you just don't care if the bearded Lorax scratched the turntables to hip-hop till you don't stop?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let's go.
That's the wrong answer.
Well, I liked it.
Very sorry.
This is all
When
kind
I
of
got to
backwards.
shake my butt and dance and wave my hands in the air.
The answer is no, because sadly, Mr. Beaver, who is the president of the Wollybomp in the Forest Swamp Committee, has declared that there will be no dancing after dark.
Oh,
So,
Lord.
all Wollybomps in the Forest Swamp will be closed 30 minutes after sunset. Therefore, you wouldn't be able to dance with his marmot friend Lance. Sorry, Sean.
Get you out get a joint.
1 for 2, bro. Man, you were on a roll, dog. It's what happened.
Man, it's like,
I thought you were going to be a Leaf Life All-Star.
man, it's like my last season. We started off the season real strong. The All-Star game came, and then after that, we just sank.
Yeah.
We just went down.
That's just sad.
Aw,
That's sad.
You're always high to us.
Well, bro, you know, you don't love bearded Loraxes, I guess.
Yeah.
What a
I don't
tragedy.
believe
Pouches.
that.
No, I don't.
The pouches are weird. That part's weird.
Hey, Sean, where can we find you on the internet, social media, and Kemp's Cannabis, man?
Man, I'm the real Shawn Kemp on Instagram.
All right.
Okay.
Say that.
Aside from all the impersonating Shawn Kemps.
Yeah, it's a lot of those out there.
Of course,
but
brother.
please make sure it's the real Shawn Kemp.
Hey.
100%. And Kemp's Cannabis?
Oh, Shawn Kemp Cannabis, Instagram also. And, you know, check this out. We got 2 stores. We got a store in Belltown.
Yep.
We have a store in DeSoto.
Great stores.
We're right by both arenas. So
Yep.
when you go to Climate Pledge for a concert, stop by and say hi.
Hey.
Stop by and say hi in the Belltown store.
Yep.
Yes.
And then when you go to the Mariners game, when you go see the ball hit the stick, please come to the Soto store. Stop by and say hi. Say, hey, Sean, what's up?
Aw, say
Or the
hi.
Seahawks, bro.
Stop by and say hi to Uncle
And the
Sean.
Seahawks, please.
Right next.
What? If I'm not at the game, I'm at the store.
My
Oh,
general.
nice.
Let's party.
Nice.
They're beautiful stores, big murals,
yeah.
like photogenic.
And lots of Sean Kemp memorabilia.
There's a lot of
Super
memorabilia,
iconic.
but it's all, we got good weed supplies. We got good merch. We got it all, man. We got it going in both stores now. So,
And good service.
and we got great service and great people working for us,
No
great
doubt.
staff. We have a lot of fun doing it. You know, nobody wants to say that they're the best, but I feel like we are the best around here.
Good for you.
Yo, thanks
Absolutely.
for choosing to be a part of this beautiful community and industry. Like,
Thank you.
yo, I'm so
Yeah.
grateful for all the athletes that are choosing that. You
High
know,
fives.
because
Yeah.
you're taking the risk of like, you know, tarnishing the previous like reputation.
And you're
all
one of
that.
the rare black-owned
Right.
organizations.
No, absolutely. I mean,
Yes.
come on. We're talking about cannabis. You know, back in '95, they was looking at this like it was heroin out here
Yep.
on the street.
Yeah.
So we was telling people that it was other sides to it. There was benefits from this. So
It's still a
this-
Schedule 1 drug,
it
same as
is.
heroin.
So
Yep.
you know, we came a long ways, but we haven't come a long ways.
Yep.
But I
Right.
think the future is bright.
A lot of work.
Brother,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming back to be on the Leaf Live podcast. We appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for having me again, guys.
Yes. Thank you, Sean.
Hey, Wes, next week, how to be a great bud tender.
Oh, boy.
Get high before work.
Bad idea.
I want to be the best bud tender.
Download this and all Leaf Life episodes at leafmagazines.com. And please subscribe on YouTube at Leaf Life Podcast V2. Now get ready for another episode of Stony Baloney, which is also available at leafmagazines.com. And please be kind to animals and wallabies at Wollybomps.
Your hosts for Leaf Life are Mike Ricker and Wes Abney. Leaf Life is produced by Mike Daly. Some of the music heard is provided by purple-planet.com. Every bit of cannabis you use is female, so please respect the ladies. Leaf Life is brought to you by Leaf Nation, featuring Alaska Leaf, Oregon Leaf, Northwest Leaf, Maryland Leaf, Amsterdam Leaf, and California Leaf. On the shelf now in your local retailer. Now, please stay tuned for this week's edition of Stony Baloney by Mike Ricker.
Stony Baloney by Mike Ricker.
Father Time is undefeated. No matter how well you take care of your body, gravity will eventually pull you back to Earth to be reclaimed by the soil. And although very smart people on this planet have developed stunning scientific methods to prolong the everlasting blink, when your train is whistling into the station, you'll need to politely disembark to clear space for new passengers. This is the end of the line. No pill, no surgery, no more birthdays. But you can't be mad. Being atop the food chain doesn't mean you live forever, just that you live well longer. In fact, you'll most likely dwell here about 5 times longer than the average cave person ever did. So be grateful that you don't have to be worried about being eaten by a razor-toothed land shark. That poor hairy dude didn't have a gun, a car, or an electric razor, much less a Home Depot. Yes, there are clams that have lived over 500 years, and there are some trees that live thousands of years. But for you, large brain or not, 120 loops around the glowing orb are what you get, give or take a decade or 10, depending on how well you attract lightning. And that's a generous estimation, mostly reserved for women living on some isolated island in Japan or Italy with simple diets and a daily glass of vino, sequestered from the instant gratification society of processed foods and secondhand smoke. So, there's no denying that some people have temporarily circumvented death, but as there are clever roundabouts and shortcuts en route to your final destination, the tick of the almighty timepiece will eventually come to a halt. And when that clock finally stops, let's hope it gets stuck on 420. After all, the best way to go is up in smoke.
Stony baloney. Some of the wardrobe, including Ricker or Wes's sick lids, is provided by Grassroots California. Check out the dopeness at grassrootscalifornia.com.
These products have intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming.
Marijuana can impair concentration, coordination, and judgment.
Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence of this drug.
There may be health risks associated with consumption of these products.
For use by adults 21 and older.
Keep out of the reach of children.